Well, this is a little video about if your blower's not working on your VW Golf MK4. Given my experience, which you'll see on this video, the first thing to do is to check the fuse, which is easy enough. The second thing to do is to check the resistor, which again is easy enough to do. The third thing is to check the blower motor, which is rather more difficult because it involves the removal or the dropping down of the glove box. And if it's none of those things, then obviously it's the switch, which in my case I didn't have to get round to doing it. So this is my experience for what it's worth. This is a MK4 Golf, and the fan isn't working. It stopped working and then every now and then when you went over a bump it would suddenly start whirring away, but now it doesn't even do that, so I'm going to have to change it. And to change it I need to take out the glove compartment, and I have no idea how to do this, so I'm just going to have a look at it and see what's required. So, if your blower motor's not working, the first thing to do is to check the fuse, and they are on the driver's side of right on just behind this little compartment here. If you look at all the little symbols on the door, you see one which looks like a little fan. That one there, that's the blower. And just match it up with the right fuse and check it. And it says there 25, and it's the second one down, so it's this one here. If I just pull it out with a little tweezer, and there you can see the fuse is okay, so it's obviously something else. It looks as if there are 7 of these little bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then underneath there seem to be another 1, 2, 3. I suspect there might be some hidden. And you need one of these little drivers to get them out. I suspect that's the size. So I'll take these little 7 bolts out and see see what happens. Well, I've removed the 7 bolts, but it still seems to be attached somewhere down inside here. Behind the glove box is this foam piece, and it's held on by 2 plastic screws. One here and one there.
And if I take those out and remove this, pull this plastic foam out of the way, I may be able to see the blower motor, which will mean I won't have to take the central consoles out, which will be a real bonus. This is the piece of foam, and if I just push it out of the way, so there is the glove box, there is this piece of foam, and if I just push it out of the way like that and have a look underneath, I suspect I'll be able to see the blower motor. And that looks very much like it. And it seems to have two bolts holding it on. One there. You can see it just tucked away behind that green wire. So I've got to get these wires removed so I can get access to that. And if I take those two bolts out, hopefully the blower motors will come out. So how to get these wires out is the next bit. Well, that was quite straightforward. Just squeeze those in there and pull it, and it came out. So there you can see the second bolt. So if I remove these two bolts, hopefully it will come away. Well, when I've undone those two bolts and taken this piece off, I don't get access to the motor at all. I just get access to the little squirrel cage. Take this side piece off. Beside the passenger door, and I can then drop the glove box down without undoing this screw, which is down in here somewhere, which requires removal of the central, all this bit here. And when I just push that out of the way, there is the motor, and it just slides down and out. Take those wires, these wires here in a little clip, so I just need to take them out, and the connection to the motor is there, which I'm going to have to remove as well. Just squeeze the little clips in and pull, I think. There we are. So I've taken that out of there. Out of the way. And with any luck, this will slide down and come out. Well, lo and behold, and there it is. It's out. It just slides. It's just a slide fit. So, there it is, it's out. And I haven't had to remove the central console, which is really rather nice, because that seems to be quite a difficult job to do. Anyway, there's the information I need. And well, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So the removal of the little side panel, which enables the glove box to drop down on the left hand side, leaving it attached to the central console on the right hand side, has solved all that problem. Well, this is the blower motor, and well, this little squirrel cage thing, as they call it, on the end, and it seems okay. I can't see anything particularly wrong with it. The other piece, which is held on by these two bolts, contains the resistor, which is part of the 4-speed mechanism for the blower. By varying the resistance, you can make the blower motor faster or slower, and then of course there are 4 speeds for the blower. And it's this piece which actually holds the blower motor in position. It's quite difficult to demonstrate. When you slide this back into position, when you bolt this back on, it holds the whole thing in place. So you have to take this bit off in order to get this to slide down and out, so you can get hold of it. Well, having got them out, I took them down to my local car electrics place and asked them to check the resistor and the blower motor, and he tells me the resistor is US, which is just as well. I thought it was the motor. So I've sent for a resistor, and when I get it back, I'll put it in, connect the motor up, and see if it works. If it does, I'll put the whole lot back in, which I suspect is going to be quite difficult, because it's you're quite cramped underneath the glove box. If it doesn't work, then I suspect it's the motor. So then I'll have to send away, see if I can get a second-hand motor somewhere, and if that doesn't work, then it will have to be the switch, because the fuse is okay. I've checked the fuse, 25 amp fuse, there's nothing wrong with it. So that's where we're at now, just now. Hopefully that changing that resistor will solve the problem. So the lesson seems to be that check the resistor first, because you can get that off without disturbing the glove box at all. You just need to remove that, or undo those 2 little plastic screws and swing that piece of foam behind the glove box out of the way, and you get access to the resistor there. Just take those 2 metal bolts out, and it just comes off. And so you don't have to touch the glove box. I mean, it's a bit awkward to get to, but it saves you an awful lot of bother. Well, this is a new resistor. It doesn't look any different from the old one, but I've brought it out of the car, and I've connected it up. And this is the motor. I've connected that up, and now is the moment of truth. Put the ignition key in. And turn the switch. Keep my fingers crossed that this goes round. Well, what do you know? Well, just to summarise everything, having been through all that, if you're tempted to sort it out, if your blower isn't working, then check the resistor first, because that's very easy to. And you can get a second-hand resistor for probably £5–10 and simply put it back in. So if you think it's going to be the motor, then the whole secret of the glove box to expose the motor is this panel on the left hand side. Speaking of a right hand drive car, we are. So on the panel here on the left hand side by the passenger door, you quite simply insert something in there and just lever it off. It's just held on by push-on clips. Be careful you don't damage it, of course. Once you've removed that and the 6 bolts, you don't need to remove these. These are simply sprung for the glove compartment lid. So it's these 6 bolts you need to remove. There's 3 on the top and 3 underneath. So if you remove the side panel and you take these bolts off, then the left hand side of the glove compartment will come down and expose the motor. Anyway, good luck to you. But mine is now working a treat.